Over the last couple days, I made this spreadsheet for myself to look at all the different nodes as well as passive income streams that I have to calculate how much they make on a daily basis. Daily basis if we would have sold at the all-time high of the last couple months, and daily basis if we simply accumulate the tokens right now and sell once any of these projects reach a $300 million market cap. Myria, for example, is at 70 something million right now. So if we have a 4.3x on the tokens we already get and accumulate and then sell in the future, that's how much we will make. So I'll walk you through the different projects and what we can expect from different types of investments. Keep in mind, I will have the pure nodes that are currently operating and generating tokens. I have nodes down here with unlisted tokens, so this is pure speculation because we don't know what's going to be the listed price, what is the market cap that it launches with, how much it's going to go up or down. We only have certain numbers so far that we can work with. And then also whether or not we integrate a free thing that I set up years ago, as well as probably the most successful Ponzi scheme over the last couple of years. This over here is exactly like nodes, but in easier, as in give me money and I give you 1% a day. Just for nodes right now, if we were to accumulate our tokens in a 24-hour window and then immediately sell absolutely everything, I would get $19.30. For that, I have one Myria node running over here. This is currently listed at $5,900. I got mine for $4,500, but this at the current time generates about $10 a day. If we get the 4 times evaluation in the future and this reaches $300 million market cap, then this will take you 5 months roughly until you break even. And for me, nodes are a long-term play. What I simply do is I accumulate all the tokens in here until I either want to make a purchase for something else and then I would just sell the token to get some liquidity, or I just leave them in there and do nothing. For Myria, for example, I had like $1,500 in tokens already, so I sold them to buy different nodes. And then you have this whole reinvestment cycle and then you can grow exponentially. Nice. Next thing, that is playable. You can see in playable, for example, I claimed my tokens once last month. Since then, I accumulated tokens again. Once they release more games, there's only a single game out right now, I think, called Nexus, where you make like $2 a day if you play it for about an hour. Where we can see on the reward history, I did this exactly once, and it's like League of Legends and Smite combined. The game is alright, but you don't get much on a daily basis. That's why I'm simply focused on a node. The node I bought for $2,200, they sell for $6,500 right now, and every 100 sold, the price goes up. That, as of right now, generates about $5 on a daily basis, and if we get this insane multiplier and this does reach a $300 million market cap, then we would make $67 on a daily basis. Otherwise, at the current price, it might take you up to 3 years until you break even, but with a gaming focus bull run plus Alex Becker, who is hopefully going to make more videos and drive all of this up, we can get some more in here. Then there is Delysium. I own one node over here and I think another one on my other account, and this with all the different incentives gives me about 52 of their AGI tokens on a daily basis. This is around 5 cents the entire time, and if we reach the valuation it had at the very beginning of about 30 cents, which would be insane, and they release all the games as they planned on doing, then it wouldn't be too far-fetched that this one reaches 300 mil. Especially if you've seen like Anita Max from Drake recently, that reached over $100 million on Solana. And if something that Drake mentioned for like 5 seconds as a meme in a live stream can go to over $60 million, I wouldn't say it's too far-fetched that the gaming company and a gaming focused bull run might perform quite well. All the tokens you accumulate, you can stake, or they have a mini game where you can gamble. If you like gambling, and people do like gambling, they take all the rewards that they get and throw them back into the pool, which helps a lot for the token price. If you want to grab a node for DMA, there have been over 14,000 sold already, and one is at a price of 2,100. I think mine was about 1,900, and then I have one DJ node here as well as one on a different account, I think. And in total for the SNS token, that makes me about $1.70 a day. And if this goes back up, then we can potentially make up to $17 a day for a $600 node. If we sell it at the all-time high of the last couple months, then we get about $41 a day for those 4 nodes, or rather node projects I should say, as I do own multiple of some of these, which is a lot of fun for the entire family because then you can take them on vacation. Next up there's this. I put this into the giant red flag, probably Ponzi scheme category, but for the last few months this works quite well. They have different bonds in here where they have a maturity rate of 10 years. Apparently it's a bank in Hong Kong, but it just seems too Ponzi, so very likely don't get this. This was something I tested and the test keeps on working, where I have about $1,000 something in here. That makes me 378 Hong Kong dollars, magic currency, so about $50 a week, or translated $7 a day, which I have down here. And then I used to have this one referral program years ago that still makes me 50 cents a day. So I added them for me, and this one could be an option for some of you, but giant red flag. You never know when something that is too good disappears. The daily amount of tokens I get in this moment if I were to sell them and their valuation, and if we add those two things into it, then I would get $26.80 a day, or about $800. If we have this one over here, as well as the all-time high price of the last couple months for these projects, then we're looking at $1,470. If we believe in the magic future of a $300 million market cap for all these mentions up there, then we have about $5,000 a month, and I want to live in that future. And in order to get to that, more likely, I looked into additional notes. Let's make extra space and focus on these right here. These are unlisted tokens and notes that aren't live yet, so you can purchase them already when they're on sale, but the TGE, the token generative event, hasn't happened yet, or the notes don't operate and give you tokens yet. For that there's Cornucopia. Those are called file notes. Simply, if you want to download the game and they pay for a server, it takes you like an hour to download the entire game. But moving forward, game grows, assets grow, so they decentralize the entire storage thing, which means you as a file node operator, you would connect them to a virtual server or to your computer, have them running 24/7, and then when people download the game or download assets, that would run through the nodes that you operate. One of these nodes cost me $300, depending on when you buy them. They have, I think, up to 10 tiers, 10 or 15 tiers, where they will sell them on ADA as well as Ethereum. And for each node you own, you also need 3,000 of their Cornucopia token. So if you buy one for $300, you also need $300 in the token. I have exactly 15,001 of their tokens because I did buy 5 of these. Once you can operate them to get tokens, I will see how many you actually end up getting. This is a super long-term play for me, which means like 2, 3, 4 years, so don't expect too much in here. For things that go live probably a lot faster are the ones I talked about in the last couple of weeks, and that is MeMusic as well as Galaxis. That is the team that used to be behind Ether cards until they rebranded to this. They pretty much take NFTs and make them smart and add a bunch of features to it, and the CEO is rich already, so he doesn't need your money. So this one for me would be a fairly safe bet. I own 2 nodes over here and one on my other account, and they're sold at $777 each, which generates about 1,800 tokens a day across all of these. Keep in mind, the more nodes are sold, the more that pool gets diluted, but besides the tokens you get on a daily basis, they also have an accumulated bonus pool, so you can get more stuff. And lastly, before we talk about the expectation of that price, there is MeMusic over here, where they have station notes. I bought a single one for myself, and we are still insanely early when it comes to this. 263 have been sold. They have their token listing event on February 1st. My expectation would be you might get $1 or $2 a day, but as it seems like right now, from what I've heard, is that the listing price is going to be 2 cents. And so far I accumulated 54,000 of their tokens, which means, basic math, times this. This $500 note might have made me $1,100 already. Because I was insanely early, of course, this pool did get diluted quite a bit. So I think I make about 3,000 tokens a day as of right now, between 3,000 and 7,000, something like that. And even at $0.02 or 2 cents, that would be $60 a day. That's less than 10 days for your return on investment. And it only costs $500. So when it comes to cheaper notes, this would be something I consider looking into, but you might as well just wait until the token listing event so you can see how everything performs. Depends on you if you want to get in early or not. When you make a purchase, you gotta enter a code, I'm pretty sure. Mine is Melos over there. Feel free to get one. Now when it comes to calculations, if this actually makes $60 to $100 a day, awesome. But even at $1 or $2 a day, I would be happy. Simply because if we average out the different nodes that we had up here as well as down here, and you don't buy early, you don't buy late, you just buy around right now, then we can estimate to have something like a 250 to 500 day window for our return on investment, which compared to traditional finance is insane. So even at $1 or $2 a day, I would be happy as long as it stays consistent and, moving forward, hopefully moves up. This fund over here combined costs about $4,300. I will see how much of that I recoup, but this in different calculations added with magic over here, which is all fantasy land, could make you up to 15 grand every single month. If some of these explode, and that's where we diversify as much as possible, there's at least a chance in here in this magical universe that God loves you and makes these go off. But instead of fantasy land, let's focus on worst case scenario. If we spend 4.3k here and 11.7 there, so $16,000. The worst case scenario, we only get $1,000 a month. That's 1 year and 4 months until you break even. So even this worst case scenario, I would be happy with. Because that means rent is free, electricity is free, no internet payments, water is free as well. I don't want to be like, yo, buy this, but be smart about it. Let's say you have 5k to invest. Put like 20% or so, meaning 1,000 into notes. Reason being, you can use 4,000 to gamble and to see how the market goes up and down and how fast you can lose it, but if you have 20% somewhat safe, you at least won't hate yourself in the future. So let's say Bitcoin hits 60k or the altcoins you bought doubled or tripled. That means the amount of tokens you get for those notes, as those mostly count into altcoins as well, they double and triple as well. And if you turn your 4k into 12k and you also have a note that is now worth more in the future, which hopefully gets bound to an NFT that you can sell moving forward, then you might generate a bunch of tokens until then, sell it for 3 times the price, and then you can also sell the note for 3x the price. But again, all speculations. Point is diversify, because I don't want you guys to get a note and then it generates you 3 cents a day and you're like, oh man, that's not worth it. But these are just some thoughts from man with the glasses. They're about 3 or 4 other node projects that I think I will get into as well fairly soon, because my strategy is the following. I will use paint to illustrate my thoughts. I have a couple notes and I'm happy. Now they make some money. I will take the money, let's say about 50% of that, even right now, just to take some profit and buy more notes, which then make me even happier over here in the future. The other 50% I simply leave in those notes, accumulate, get the tokens, and at the peak of the next bull run, which means in the next 6 to 18 months, we never know how long it takes, I will gradually sell the tokens, take some money out, diversify a bit, maybe bet on esports, maybe take some profit, and then play it smart. Last thing I will leave you with, and that is wisdom for this entire market, in case you've never read the article. This thread over here from almost 3 years ago, in 2021, by Secrets of Crypto. This is big brain, super smart, how to make money when it comes to crypto. Highly recommend reading this. I could also just make a video and read it for you. And then you will learn how to take profit and how to make money with different illustrations, the different phases of this market, on how things move. And then we learn how to not be dumb money, but how to be smart money, so we can use these people as exit liquidity when we take all the profit. Because your plan right now shouldn't be, oh, let's make some money this bull run and then we have money. Your plan should be, how do we can take most of the profit from this upcoming bull run to build something that makes your money passively, so you're happy during the bear market, and then also have capital left over to accumulate during the next bear market, so in about 3.5, 4 years from now, to position yourself in an even better spot for the next bull run after. There's this quote over here of men who think in decades are dangerous, which I thought fits quite well for crypto, because if you think about the next like 2 or 3 months of, oh, maybe I get this airdrop, it's a good short-term play, but how do you not lose the money in 2 years from now? Get yourself passive income stuff, and then you won't hate yourself for losing all the money. Or we simply expect that Elon makes Dogecoin a world reserve currency, and then we buy the funny Doge, and then we're all rich. It's one or the other. And until then, let me know if there are any other node projects that I could check out. Don't forget to water your plants, unless you want them to die, and take care.